Hello everyone, Jim Sprouse here, Vice President, Director of Sales for Cain Advisory Group. I want to take a little bit of time and walk you through a few cases of ours to explain and introduce our value proposition out there in the San Diego marketplace. I'm going to start here with this guy I'm calling the independent insurance rep, okay? Been in insurance 6 years, starting to make a pretty good income, and his pain was pretty simple. It's the same pain I personally was in as I spent 15 years in the insurance business, and it was very good to me. You built up a nice residual income, but I didn't get the advisement that I really needed. I would prep, going back to prepping taxes this time of year, cross my fingers and hope that the tax bill wasn't that high. Either cry or pray, one of the two as to what the result was. But really what I found out after was, although I asked my CPA if I should incorporate, what I got was the same response. We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. And no offense and no criticism too much on CPAs and tax prep agencies that are really busy this time of year, because they really were busy, and to their credit, they weren't really doing a lot of the structures that were really needed. But the answer came back as, we'll take a look at it. Well, here's a breakdown for this particular individual. If you are a sole proprietor and you're making over, say, $50,000, that's a good mark right there. That's a threshold. $50,000 and more of net income or taxable income, you really need to look at becoming an S Corp, if that makes sense. You incorporate for two reasons, typically liability and taxes, right? So we're just going to take tax because we really build tax management strategy. Let's just say your liabilities are not high, which you're not really in insurance because you have errors and omissions and other things, but just take that tax liability you have and look at the numbers. This is simple math. This is not crazy. No CPAs have a magic key or sprinkle magic pixie dust and make their tax bill lower. It's simple math. And incorporating eliminates the federal tax of Social Security, right? Matching payroll tax, self-employment tax as it's known, right? So you save 15.3% of the money that passes through your S Corp. This is not the purpose of the video, so I'm not going to go into the details today. If you're a sole prop, you're making over $50,000, you really should look at incorporating your business. We'll be happy to give you a free consultation, tell you if the numbers make sense for you, right? So the action step for this individual was we incorporated him, and we were going to save him in 5-figure plus in taxes by passing through income, making sure that he's paid as an employee and running his business that way. The next one is I'm calling them the 20-something startup. These two gentlemen, I found them out there in the marketplace. They were starting a business. Very good for them. Their revenues first year with a lower overhead was $400,000. It's a great run at the 20-something-year-olds, mid-20-year-olds. Great product, online product, and really going out there aggressively and building it. So really what their needs was something that really differentiates us from the others, and that is Cain Advisory Group, Brian Cain, and is an attorney, and we have another attorney in-house as well. So our differentiator in the marketplace is that if you have got needs, transactional needs in business, right, you need to incorporate, or you just need to be able to negotiate and have advice given and counsel given legally for legal matters, then you have access to attorneys as well. And again, that's a differentiator because we are one stop. We can do what is needed in order to make sure that the client's needs are met. So what they did was their bundle included 1 hour a month of legal, where they came in face to face. They also, with all of our clients, you can call in and email questions, and if it's really just a short answer, you're not charged for that, right? We get clients like that all the time. So the next case I want to talk about is, I'm calling these guys the venturers, right? And their pain was everybody's pain. They have two partners, and neither of them really wanted to pay attention to the details of running the business. So their shop was a mess. Their shop was not in order. Now the challenge they had was they used a couple different payroll companies. They weren't really getting advice. They were outsourcing and fragmented all over the place, and happens a lot of times in smaller businesses, right? So we went in, we had a lot of cleanup work to do, about 10 hours of cleanup work, put them back to zeros, and then from there, they're pretty scrubbed up and they're ready to move forward. So once that cleanup work was done, they are now, right now, and this week actually, going out there to get some venture capital. So they have a business that they feel is duplicatable, and they're looking at further projects. And of course, anytime you're looking for money, whether it's angel money or the banks or venture capital, whatever you're looking for, you're going to need to have tight books. You're going to want to have a third party as well. You need to have transparency in your business. So really able to help those guys out. Very happy with the way that that case turned out. The next one is I'm calling them the agency, and their pains were accounting. And we actually had a big project. I'll just kind of give the bullet points. I go on a little long sometimes on these, but I get excited about these cases and how we help people. Accounting was pretty simple, 3 principals, about 40 agents working underneath them. And so with that, they just need to have, between the 3 of them, they actually had 1, 2, 3, 4 companies. So to be able to bundle everything together, knowing that we're there to take care of pulling it all together, they can have their monthly P&Ls and everything that they need for those companies, but be able to pull it all together was advantageous for them. They were actually having a challenge where, and this is where we went above and beyond. They have to pay commissions, and they have to get paid from carriers, multiple carriers, bring it in-house, and then paying out with residual, in certain cases, to the producers, the 1099 producers on their team. So with that, we brought in a programmer, and we used our payroll system and the programmer to build an application, saving them tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars and making it very, very customizable, to where if we need to make any change in the system, we can go and do that for much less cost, where literally the statements are coming in, being plugged into the application, and then processing and telling us what each of the commissions will be on a weekly basis for their team. So it kept them away from having to continue to do it manually, costing them tons of person hours, into an application that was built much less, a fraction of what it would cost to go to a third-party software. And then lastly with them was the build out. Actually, that was the last thing with them. Pretty good case. I think they're happy with it. And a couple more of the other details I won't go into on that because of time. And the last one I'm going to call, this one's the Endgame. And the Endgame was, I was referred to this company from a friend in the business. And they have been around since almost the year I was born, back in the 70s. And they very professional. Their accounting, their books were in great order. I've never seen anything like it. The accounting book was a few inches thick. And it was really unbelievable how professional my lead into the company was, and she just had it dialed in. Payroll was being done through a PEO. They were happy with that. Their challenge was, when we sat down, I was trying to figure out where we could fit in, if we could fit in, and I asked this individual, who was definitely getting close to retirement, what the exit strategy was. And from there, she kind of sunk a little bit and kind of smirked and said, we really don't have one. Company wildly successful, they revenues of millions of dollars a year. In fact, one of the principals didn't even know how much money they had in their 401k, how many millions were in the 401k. So one of those situations, but they were very aligned in their business, but they knew that they were misaligned with how they were going to get out of the business and what that meant to not just them, the 2 partners, but really the families involved as well. So from there, we were able to talk strategy, be able to help them out with processing taxes for them, but also helping them navigate through some of those channels on what that end game would be, making sure that even the trusts were up to date, and then how they're going to fund the exit strategy and everything like that. So a couple cases there from beginning to end, from the very small needs up to literally mergers and acquisition, and helping people plan for that and exit strategy, to once you create your business, how you're going to get out of your business. So if any of those can strike a nerve with you, or if you feel that your particular case might be out of some of those boxes a little bit, but you still have particular needs, give us a call, and we'll be happy to engage with you and give you a free consultation to see if there's anything we can do to help you out. Thanks.